Well, welcome to our mini seminar on the elevator pitch contest. My name is Dr. Bob Perkins, and I'll be talking to you about things that will help you to prepare your elevator pitch and be successful. It's really helping you find a path over the rocks to victory on the big stage of the elevator pitch. In this little prep mini seminar, I'll cover an overview of the contest, the structure of your pitch, what you should include. I'll present an example. It'll be a bit corny, but I think it'll be instructive as well. I will then talk about insider insights, the things we've learned from previous winners that can help you to win as well. The timeline is probably the first thing to understand. This particular mini seminar will be followed next week on Thursday, February 20th, and the following Thursday by other seminars. Next week we'll be talking about financials, how to do an income statement, how to develop your brand, and then the beginning of storyboarding for your video. The 27th we'll be concentrating really on two topics, your video and also the way that you develop your presentation. Yes. The submission date for the video is very important. It says on our posters it's the 6th. That's a Friday. We thought we'd be good and give you a little more time and let you turn them in on Sunday. A couple of extra days always helps. You'll be notified very quickly of the winners. If you're in the finals, there will be 10 selected for the finals by an outside expert. The contest itself is on March 28th. That's a Saturday morning, so please. What is an elevator pitch contest? And first, what's in it for me? The first thing is money. We have $3,000. The first year we started was only $1,000, and now we're up to $3,000. That's pretty nice. An elevator pitch contest finalist looks good on your resume too. In addition, the judges will be providing you with feedback, and we think, based on 4 years of doing this, that it's a lot of fun as well. So an elevator pitch is a concept that began with what would happen if you got on an elevator at 3 in the morning with someone who was very interested and said, "Oh, tell me about your idea." And you do. What would you say? This has actually happened. I had a couple who checked into a hotel in LA. They were incredible serial entrepreneurs, and they found they were on the elevator with Sir Richard Branson, who is a serial entrepreneur and developed a whole bunch of companies all over the world. Okay, so the idea is that in that short period of time, and actually we are in an elevator, we're in a pretty high building, so you have more time. But the idea is to impress the audience and to answer their questions. The judges will ask you questions. Now, what are the semifinals? Well, this is where you submit your 2-minute video on March 8th, and we'll be covering how to do those videos in the next seminars. Again, the finals are Saturday morning the 28th. Your presentation will only be 10 minutes long, and then the rest will be Q&A from the judges. Frequently asked questions, what about social entrepreneurship? Well, we don't allow charities, but doing things that are strongly value-based is great. It just has to be sustainable as a business. We do not do valuations. We don't do the Shark Tank kind of thing, which says, I will offer you this much money for equity in your company. Intellectual property? No, you don't need to worry about that particularly. In this contest, we've never had anyone who stole an idea. The judges' criteria, well, they're interested in innovation. They're interested in, is it a real problem? Is there a real market? And so your pitch is going to be structured in that way. The judges are all outside entrepreneurs. They're successful. They have done numerous contests, and they're very kind, unlike the folks at Shark Tank. Video submissions again, March 8th. Finalists on the 28th. Who can enter? All UWF students are eligible, and you can recruit faculty and outside advisors to help you. They won't actually be on the stage with you when you do your presentation, but they will be able to advise you. Teams can be up to 5 individuals, and we suggest that you do have a team. Please check the website. Just do elevator pitch, and it will come up. and I'll explain some of the taboo businesses. You cannot open a brothel. You cannot import agricultural products from Latin America that may be on the forbidden list, stuff like that. Things you need to know, more what's in it for me. Some of the things you gain by this is an overview of business. That's one of the first things. In most of our business classes, we have a narrow slice, be it finance or marketing or IT or something else. But in this situation, you are the entire, you're management, you're everything. So you're responsible for the whole thing. Now we get that finally in strategy and certainly in capstone experiences where you actually do look at a whole company. But here you get to design and create a whole company. This is a big hit on the resume. I've seen a number of students who've got really good jobs because somebody said, really, an elevator pitch contest, that's interesting, what did you do? And then it becomes more than, well, I got an A in a class. And that's really quite powerful. So prizes, $3,000, I mentioned that. We have 2 second place prizes, each of $1,500. We have 3 third place prizes of $500 and 2 honorable mentions of $250. So everybody gets not only judges' feedback, but everybody who's in the finals gets some money. Now, the equipment to do your videos can be found at the library. We have actually a person there who will help you to tell your story. So this is the structure you should use for your pitch. First, an engaging opening. One of the best I ever saw was done by a graduate student at Stanford. And she said, close your eyes and hold out your hand. Imagine what you could put in that hand. A wallet, an apple, a light. And then she shows a hand that has a premature baby in it. Wow, that gets your attention. One of my other favorites was a student who said, the worst call that a parent can ever get is, your child is missing. Thump, 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 thump. The hearts were beating fast on that one as well. The next thing is, what is the problem? Now, people don't often say, gee, I've got a problem, but they do have something they need. I need this machine to be faster, cheaper, better. I need or want something that I don't have now. Sometimes it's an aspiration. We want to learn to fly. We want to be able to take off. We want to be able to go straight up, helicopters, those kinds of things. The market, are there really customers out there who will spend money for your service or product? How many of them are there? What's the size of that niche? What does it look like demographically and psychographically? Is your solution really an innovation? And does it actually work? So any kind of proof that you have, we talked to a lot of people, they tested our dessert by tasting it, and here's the data. 92% said they would buy it, and they said they would pay $5 to $6, $7 for it. We can make it for 50 cents, and we think we've got a solution that works and is going to be powerful. Financials, these are important. Now, we don't require a lot of financials because we don't have any customers yet. But we do want to know what a projected income statement might look like. Now, for business students, this is not too hard to do. For others, we'll be covering that in the next seminar. But it really means project the revenue and how you're going to get it, and then what your costs are, subtract it and get your profit. So that's important to know. The vision, what is this going to look like in 5 years? And that really is very powerful. And that's what attracts investors, customers, and also employees to your company. So that when you finish, you want to say, well, here are the next steps we're going to do. After we do this, we're going to do that. And then a gracious close. Thank you very much for listening today, ladies and gentlemen, and judges. So what should you cover? This is a step up from the Da Vinci Innovation Celebration. The idea there was you just needed an idea. And we had some really good ones. We had 62 teams and very fine ideas. But this is more than that. This is really about the question, how do you plan to make your idea into a successful business? Are you actually solving a problem? Is your idea new and innovative? Have you identified target customers? How many of them are there? Did you go out and talk with any customers? This turns out to be really important. And the judges are likely to ask you that question because we want to know, what's the market think of this? Do you have a sketch or a prototype? Is it really unique? Did you check to see if there's already one in the market? I see with my students that many times they'll have a great idea, even sometimes an idea they think is too silly to actually be viable. Someone will already have it on the market, and in case of a very silly idea, be making a lot of money with it. Have you projected and thought about how you're going to get customers? That's really important, and of course your next steps. So we think it's important to begin by writing down your answers to each of these potential questions. I'm going to give an example now. So financials are for a pilot, in this case not for 2 years. This example has all of the key elements in some form or other. The idea is made up, it is not real. Yours will of course be different, but all of the pieces and topics that are in this example I'm going to give will be about the same. A real entry like the one I'm going to suggest, the one I'm going to portray here, would have a pretty strong chance. Why? It is complete and it's pretty innovative. Okay, here we are to talk about a problem. It is that dragons are dangerous. But imagine if you could have one as your pet. Properly trained, dragons make great pets. Here at UWF, we have a 3-year program where we looked at how to train dragons, and it has paid off. We use operant conditioning, we implant electrodes, one in the pleasure center, which generates serotonin, and another in a sleep center. We don't use punishment on the dragons. They don't like that, who does? And what we can do is push a button, activate the sleep center, and they have a nice nap. Then we open them up again, wake them up, and give them a nice shot of serotonin, and they're happy to be with us again. So we have a genius team of scientists who developed this. We have tame dragons. That is our competitive advantage. We are the first mover in this unique space. So I am Pete St. George, dragon tamer extraordinaire, and the founder of Puffy Dragon Pets. We have turned deadly dragons into lovable pets and loyal family protectors. They can clear away snow with a single fire-laden breath. They can clear away brush, and they can kill pests. Our dragons are vegetarians. They are neutered, cannot fly. That's become extinct over the years. When they used to fly around, they would attract negative attention and get shot out of the sky. So they now are vegetarians and they eat wood. There's plenty of wood up in the high mountains where they live. Who's our target market? Well, we've identified 23,000 rural homes, farm owners with more than 5 acres who would be appropriate because dragons need space. The dragons are about 10 feet long. We sell them for $12,000. We think that there is an opportunity to have a $150 million business with tame dragons. So I mentioned our secret process. We use rewards. But our next step is really to create reference customers. So Puffy Dragon Pets will capture and train and place dragons. These customers will be featured in ads as we launch. I'll cover questions later. Our logo is this one here with the gold dragon. We know the Chinese emperors are reputed legendarily to keep tame dragons at court. I've been fascinated personally with dragons since I was 4 years old. My mom made me a dragon suit, which I wore for Halloween. As a scientist, I learned that, first of all, surprise, surprise, it's not Bigfoot, it's a dragon, and they really do exist in the high mountains. I was driven to work with them, and imagine my joy when I found that I could tame dragons. So here's our ideal customer. Jake Smathers is 55 years old, an old wealthy rancher in Montana with 1,200 acres. He wants to protect his cattle, feed from coyotes and wolves and other critters, clear brush and snowy paths. He likes big pets, St. Bernards. We have a website, Would You Like to Own an Incredible Pet? We set that up. We had 57 people who requested information. 36 completed our owner application form and liability waiver. Pets, like dragons, need to be certified, so we're doing that. There's no legislation about dragons yet, but we're anticipating there would be. Income statement for our Puffy Dragon Pets pilot project. In Q2 and in Q1, we're going to have a pilot. We're going to acquire 6 dragons that will cost us $2,000. We're going to train them, that's $2,500. We're going to get insurance from Lloyd's of London for $3,000. Total cost of $7,500. We're going to rent these and place them with an option to buy. We're going to do 4 dragons for 3 months, and that will be $6,000. We think the conversion rate at the end of Q2 will be 2 dragons, $12,000 each, 24 dragons. So we're anticipating a profit in our pilot of $16,500. And most importantly, 2 strong reference customers. Future growth, we think we can increase the number of dragons per month and get up in the end of year 2 to 7 dragons per month. Close. We believe that dragons as pets is a profitable niche market. Puffy Dragon Pets has a strong competitive advantage at this point. We are the first mover. Someone else will find out about it and try to do it as well, but we're way ahead. Our next step is to raise $10,000 to conduct our pilot. We will then scale to capture this unique niche. Thank you for listening. We look forward to your questions. So corny as it was, and sort of out of the box, that is what a pitch would look like. It took about 10 minutes. The goal of these kinds of pitches is to seem a lot bigger than you are. Your little baby gorilla beating your chest, making a not very loud noise, but you want to appear that you're a great big gorilla making a whole lot of chest-thumping noise. Now, some insights from our past winners. And this is really important because these are folks who actually competed and won. And we were able to get them to tell us what they think was critical. So here's the team that won last year. You can see Sonny back here with his hat on. I'll speak a little bit more about him later. Ricky and Howard and Char. And what they're doing is they're serving their product, which was a dessert, to the judges who were here along the table. Now, one of the things we find is that passion is really important. So the first year we had a unique situation. We had a gentleman who was incredibly passionate. He was a great salesman, and he won. And we had some other people who were very unhappy because they thought they had a better product. And that product was engineered well and had all these kinds of things. But they presented it in a very quiet, unimpressive way, and they were surprised they didn't win. Passion really is important. Also a prototype. Show us. Like little kids, and we say, we want to see that. We don't want to hold it. We want to touch it. And so here we see them demonstrating how it works, how it tastes, how it looks. At least a mock-up, and the mock-up can tell us what it's going to be like. Also, we like proof that it works. And this could be, we tested this dessert with lots of customers and they liked it. That's what worked last year. The year before, the fellow had actually sold quite a few of his products and had feedback from the customers. So that's really powerful. We want to know the customers like it. A team is a big help. So this particular team, they were from 4 different countries, 4 guys, and they came together to create a unique product, blending desserts in their native land to come up with something new and unique that's going to work on Pensacola Beach and other beaches along the Emerald Coast. So the second place team last year had a graphic designer. Graphic designers add a lot to the look of the product, to the packaging of the product, to the font, the colors, and everything of the product. A programmer is very useful, particularly if you're going to do some kind of an app. Apps are expensive, but if you have somebody who knows about them and can actually do that, it makes it really much more believable. A finance person can help you do the income statement. They know what it is, they know how to make one, they've seen lots of them, yours won't be too difficult. It is a projection. We'll talk about how to develop a projection at our next seminar. Marketing. One of the things we find, and I did a particular research study on this, is that entrepreneurs who are marketeers are much more successful in conveying what their company is about to customers. That creates awareness, and those companies grow about 6 times faster, at least they did in my study. So we think that all of these specialties contribute to something very unique. Brand alignment. So creating a brand that fits together where all of the elements don't just go in different directions, is very important. It creates a more compact and easily communicated package. So here you see Ricky and Howard in their Hawaiian shirts, and they're serving their product in coconut shells. It's all about the beach. They came up with a name. Their first name was something in Chinese that meant white rabbit, and that didn't make any sense. So we changed it after the class and said, a what? A white rabbit? Don't get that. So they changed it to Kazan, which is volcano, and they were very excited about it. And that really made a difference. So they were winners. Here they are serving their dessert and having fun. So some final insights from the master inventor, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo created all kinds of things. All kinds of things. The only thing he didn't invent was spaghetti. Actually, that came from the Chinese. But he had a process that was really 4 elements. Those 4 elements are found to be the same thing that we use today and to be very useful in innovating. The first one is, and this is in Italian, so we have to use our hands, curiosità. Curiosità. That means curiosity. He was interested in everything. So that really helps you get a broad field of things to draw material from. The next one, sfumato. Sfumato means up in smoke, which is a kind of an idiom, and it really means that you wait a while and let things percolate. Let it develop. Let it kind of work in your mind. So we're in the shower or the bathtub. All of a sudden it comes together. It fits. And that's the next thing. Connessione. Connessione. It connects. That and this, bing. Got it. The last one, demonstrazione. Demonstrate what it is. Very powerful process. And it's one that you can kind of do intuitively. Now, the way to have a good idea is basically very simple. Generate a lot of ideas. But as Jack London said, don't wait for inspiration. You've got to get after it with a club. Because out of your many ideas, only a few will be successful. But a few of them will really